Hi all, welcome to VC's class. In today's class, we will discuss about cardiac cycle. So what is cardiac cycle and how the heart functions we will see in this class. The very first question when comes to our mind when we discuss about cardiac cycle is how does the heart function? Not only cardiac cycle, generally when we have a common discussions we will think how the heart works. So how it works. So let us take a look on it. All the four chambers of the heart are in a relaxed state, that is, they are in joint diastole. Initially, the heart four chambers will be in relaxed condition and then the work starts. As the tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open, blood from the pulmonary veins and vena cava flows into the left and the right ventricles, respectively, through the left and right atria. So we can see this here. What happens first? As in the previous class we have discussed about valves. There are four valves, and so here we are talking firstly about tricuspid and bicuspid valves. These valves are open as the blood from the pulmonary veins and vena cava flows into them, as they have to send it to the ventricles through left and right auricles or atria. At this condition or this stage, the semilunar valves are closed. The SAN now generates an action potential which stimulates both the atria to undergo a simultaneous contraction called the atrial systole. SAN is also called as pacemaker. So sinoauricular node now generates an action potential which stimulates both the atria to undergo a simultaneous contraction is called the atrial systole. This increases the blood flow into the ventricles by 30%. So how much amount of blood is increased into the ventricles by this atrial systole is 30%. The action potential is conducted to the ventricular side by the AVN and AV bundles, from where the bundle of his transmits it through the entire ventricular musculature. So now we are discussing about the ventricular side action potential, which is conducted by the AVN and AV bundles. So from this, the bundle of his transmits it through the entire ventricular musculature. As we already know that ventricular side of the heart is having more muscular nature. This causes the ventricular muscles to contract. This contraction of ventricular muscles is called as ventricular systole, and at this time the atria undergoes relaxation, and relaxation is also called as a diastole. These both coincide with the ventricular systole. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves due to attempted backflow of the blood into the atria. So here what happens? The ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves. In the earlier we have discussed that when blood flows into the ventricles through tricuspid and bicuspid valves as they are open, now the pressure exerted in ventricles and causes the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid, as they are only unidirectional and they will not allow the blood to flow reverse into them. So in order to prevent the attempt of backflow of the blood into the atria, the cuspids valves are closed. Ventricular systole increases the ventricular pressure, causing the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves due to attempted backflow of blood into the atria. As the ventricular pressure increases further, the semilunar valves guarding the pulmonary artery on the right side and the aorta on the left side are forcibly open, allowing the blood into the ventricles to flow through these vessels into the circulatory pathway. So this is one of the important point here. As the ventricular pressure increases, the semilunar valves guarded by the pulmonary artery on the right side and the aorta on the left side are opened forcefully in order to allow the blood in the ventricles to flow through them to the circulatory pathways. The ventricles now relax. So here what condition it has? It has the ventricular diastole and the ventricular pressure falls, causing the closure of semilunar valves, so which prevents the backflow of blood into the ventricles. As earlier I have mentioned, valves are unidirectional, and when ventricles come into relaxed condition, the valves start to close and they will not allow the blood to flow back again into the ventricles. Here the semilunar valves are closed. As the ventricular pressure declines further, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves are opened or pushed into it by the pressure exerted by the blood entering into the atria, which were going to be emptied by the veins by throwing the blood into them or pushing the blood into them. So when ventricular diastole occurs and then the ventricular pressure declines and the tricuspid and bicuspid valves pushed open, as the pressure is increased in the atria which were exerted by the blood, and these are to be emptied by the veins which bring the deoxygenated blood from various body parts to the heart. The blood now once again moves freely to the ventricles. So what happens now? The blood which entered into the atria goes into the ventricles by the opening of tricuspid and bicuspid valves, and the ventricles and atria are again in a relaxed state, as I have mentioned earlier. So again the joint diastole conditions comes into action. Soon the SAN generates a new action potential, and the events described above are repeated in that sequence, and the process continues. The sequential events in the heart, which is cyclically repeated, is called the cardiac cycle, and it consists of systole and diastole of both the atria and ventricles. So the cyclical or sequential events which occur in the heart repeatedly is called as cardiac cycle, and it consists of systole and diastole of both the auricles and ventricles. And as I mentioned earlier, the heart beats 72 times per minute. That is, then that many cardiac cycles are performed per minute. So we can calculate it, and we can say that we can deduct that the duration of cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. During a cardiac cycle, each ventricle pumps out approximately 70 ml of blood, which is called the stroke volume. So sometimes we may get what is meant by stroke volume. So during cardiac cycle, each ventricle pumps out approximately some amount of blood. That some amount is called as 70 ml. This is considered as stroke volume. The stroke volume multiplied by the heart rate gives the cardiac output. So what is multiplied by the heart rate here? So here it is called as number of heartbeats per minute. So the stroke volume is increased by heartbeats, and this gives the cardiac output. Therefore, the cardiac output can be defined as the volume of blood pumped out by each ventricles per minute, and averages 500 ml to 5 liters in a healthy individual. So what will be the average blood flown in a healthy individual per minute is 5 liters or 500 ml. The body has the ability to alter the stroke volume as well as the heart rate, and thereby the cardiac output. So our body is well developed and well managed, and it has the ability to alter the stroke volume as well as heart rate, and thereby the cardiac output also is controlled by the body.